know, growing up in an alcoholic family, that edge was always there. You never know what you're going to find when you come home. And that edge, I was brought up on that edge of that, just right on that edge, just never knowing, never being comfortable, never being secure. And it's really weird how I keep finding myself, you know, even though those situations are long gone and my parents are long time dead and stuff, I still continue to put myself on that edge as some sort of, it probably has some sort of weird comfort to me.
He's just a huge energy. So I don't know if I could think of one word, but what I say to everyone is that Francis has one fault, and that is that he's good at everything.
You know, even using a new guitar on an album that's hard to play, that I'm not comfortable on. You know what I mean? It makes you do different things. It forces you into a new mode. I haven't a clue what I'm doing. I've got a bunch of new stuff, so no. The answer is no. I don't know what to do. But Brett's got the moon in Virgo, so he's when things go wrong, you need somebody with a bit of Virgo in their chart so they can kind of figure shit out. You see? Yeah, no, he's very, very smart. He's old Brett.
That's what I do. Whenever he plays, he likes to be as uncomfortable as possible. You know, that just helps him be that much more creative and on the edge. So it's hilarious. Every time I've seen him play, he plays with something completely different, you know, which puts him in that cool spot of being on the edge and like, whoa, but that's where brilliance comes from, I think, sometimes, you know.
You know, probably in some weird, twisted psychological way, that edge means nurturing to me because it's what I grew up with. It's the only stable thing I had. It was the only constant thing in my life was that edge.
Yeah. He's just a real funny guy, you know. I mean, I think people are just really drawn to him. You're drawn to what he's got to say about things. He's very philosophical. He's very interesting guy to talk to. As far as being on the road with him, he's a true gentleman, you know. He's a great guy. He's also can be really snarling, you know. He can really come at you like, rah, and you're like, oh, easy.
The early part of my childhood was very different than the person I am now. I mean, you know, going through my 20s and all that with all the alcohol and drugs and like, you know, violence and all that. I mean, that's crazy shit. And not in like a crazy type of like bravado way, yeah, in a really sad type of like, you know, embarrassing type of way, you know, really awful.
Somebody described to me, I thought was a great way to describe him. He's 23 hours of the day, he's complete gentleman, but there's 1 hour out of that day, that 24th hour, it might be in the middle somewhere, where he needs to just let it out, you know, and be aggressive and snarling, you know. But after that, he's fine again, you know. That's kind of how my take on him overall, you know.
And any band who's worth their salt over the last 40 years, you'll notice there's always two people at war behind the scenes, be it Keith Richards and Mick Jagger, or, you know, Steven Tyler and Joe Perry, or, you know, there's always that friction. The ghetto is much more creative than like a nice middle-class suburbia because there's much more friction and tension there.
You know, by being positive, thinking positive, and not thinking negative, then the positive things will happen to you. And then there's some validity to that. I mean, if I think I'm miserable and all that, the next thing I know, I'm miserable and shit's going to happen. But if I think positive and I'm happy and just always am looking on the bright side, it's a lot easier to, you know, get along and deal with people and issues and family members and just having to always think the bad shit. Can I say shit? Sure. Hi, how are you?
I think the people who worked on the shoot, from the camera crew to the sound, everybody who was on the shoot, the band, everybody, I think, kept the energy flowing. So the whole night had good positive energy to it, I think. And I think, you know, I think the show will have that about it. Even the audience had good energy.